Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where we spill tea left, right, and everywhere in between. In today's video, we're going to be looking into all of the dramas of 2021. Think of this as a YouTube rewind of 2021, but for drama in the community. I've ranked the 10 most important and talked about tea and scandals this year, but you know that they could be totally switched around depending on how you view it. But I think I did a pretty good job, so let me know if you like this concept. Also, we have a similar video from last year wrapping 2020 drama and tea spilled on the internet, so you can check it out after this one if you're interested. But before we get into all of the tea, let me plug the Hot Tea Twitter account where you can keep up with any updates as well as send us stories that you want us to cover. Also, make sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know when I post. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and comment down anything you want down below. Alright, let's get into the tea. So at number 10, we have the TikTokers/YouTubers boxing fights. Okay, so let's start off with the least important one that somehow managed to be talked about a lot, the YouTubers/TikTokers boxing fights. In the past few years, for some reason, male influencers want to diversify their careers in other fields such as boxing. Obviously, we have the Paul brothers and KSI. Then in 2020, 2021, it became YouTubers versus TikTokers. People like Austin McBroom and Bryce Hall also tuned in, both of which you wouldn't think would join on this, one being a family vlogger and the other posting thirst traps for teen girls on TikTok. We had the infamous Jake Paul stealing Floyd Mayweather's hat moment. I mean Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather fight.
It's not my beef, but you know, we team Bryce out here. That's right. Even the paparazzi team Bryce. Oh God.
Also, companies like Triller and Social Glove organizing these big events have gained popularity, some by scamming their fighters and some by suing a bunch of people. Some of these influencers seem to be taking this seriously, wanting a career in boxing. For example, Jake Paul has been dedicated to training and fighting more than to his social media platforms. Regardless, such events have become a form of entertainment because of these influencers, and it looks like big companies are realizing how much marketing potential they have, especially TikTokers. Do you guys think there will be more boxing fights in the future with said influencers, or is this just a trend that's going to die out eventually? Also, do you enjoy them or do you find them weird? At number 9, we have H3 getting sued and all the other lawsuits. So let's talk about all the lawsuits that have been happening this year. The main one is related to the previous topic. H3 Productions is sued by Triller for illegally sharing the streams from a fight, the Logan versus Floyd one, and a bunch of other people are also involved in that lawsuit. But the drama between H3/Ethan and the co-founder of Triller, Ryan Kavanagh, has become really intense. Not sure how many lawsuits exactly there are, but a separate one from the previous one has been filed against H3 Production. It was even speculated that Keemstar was working with Ryan in order to sabotage Ethan. And on top of that, this year there were a bunch of other lawsuits to other YouTubers that got sued this year. We have Austin McBroom and several lawsuits made against him, one of which was filed by LiveXLive, is about $100 million and is related to the boxing fights mentioned previously. Other influencers getting sued this past year, or that it was made known, include James Charles getting sued by his ex-video editor/producer, although that whole lawsuit could be a bit sus because Kelly, James's ex-employee, has worked for other influencers like Erica Costale and has sued her and won. Another YouTuber who is involved in a lawsuit is our favorite, Trisha Paytas, over OnlyFans taking money away from another creator who had Trisha signed under her referral link. Basically, Nina, who is Nina Unrated on YouTube, shared last year that she had Trisha under her referral link, and Trisha apparently generated her a lot of money, like we're talking tens of thousands of dollars. The way OnlyFans works is that they get a percentage of your earnings, and if you've signed under a referral, a portion of OnlyFans cut goes to the person with the referral link. And Nina at one point made about $16,000 just from Trisha. Allegedly, Trisha got OnlyFans to remove her from Nina's referrals, and OnlyFans was not able to resolve the issue with Nina, so she just decided to sue them. The lawsuit is filed in the UK, and Trisha is considered to be a witness. It's odd because Trisha has not mentioned this at all, so yeah, a lot of legal tea this year, and a lot of it has been reviewed by our new favorite legal channel, Emily D. Baker. Moving on, at number 8, let's talk about the Ace family. There have been so many things going on with them, not sure where to begin, but to give a very brief overview of some of the Ace family drama, we have multiple lawsuits going against both Catherine and Austin. It's also known that they might be losing their home, and their extended family is also in a lot of drama. One of the major things about the Ace family this year has been the question about their house. It was speculated earlier this year that they might be losing their house, and as of recently, it was confirmed that the $10 million million house went into foreclosure. There was even a video of the auction outside of City Hall in Pomona, California. The Ace family didn't really respond to this information. A month or so after that auction, they tried to address the situation. They stated that they got scammed by their contractor. They never got a certificate of occupancy and they didn't have gas or hot water. They went on to say that the house was made poorly, but they paid a lot to the contractor and he was giving them false prices. Regardless, we don't know what exactly is true and what is not. It's not known if the Ace family will be moving out or not, so maybe more will come out in 2022. And alright, as for the extended family drama, we have Landon McBroom, Austin's brother, and his ex Shyla Walker, who are also family vloggers. Their family channel is called This Is LNS and has almost 3 million subscribers, and it was all about them and their daughter. The channel still exists, but no longer has videos on it other than the one where Shyla explains what they're going to do further on. Each of them has their own channel and are uploading videos separately. Over the last year, they have broken up and have a lot of drama between each other. Landon has basically tried to portray his ex to be the crazy one. Meanwhile, Shyla has exposed him and his lies, as well as the manipulative behavior him and his mom have put her through. There was drama revolving the engagement ring, how it was all a brand deal and that Shyla actually paid for it. Landon was acting like he didn't know what to do with the ring after they broke up, especially because it was custom made with Shyla's initials. It was a mess, as expected. Any Ace family related content is messy. And another lawsuit against the McBrooms, more specifically Catherine, is a civil lawsuit that alleges Catherine tried to stage a coup on a cosmetics company. The complaint demands a jury trial and compensation for damages. It also claims Catherine tried to dissolve the company. The complaint accuses McBroom of 8 charges, including breach of contract and cyber squatting in the Superior Court of California. The lawsuit was filed on April 12th by TBL Cosmetics Inc., a cosmetics company based in Delaware that specializes in creating, building, and scaling cosmetics brands, according to the legal complaint. It is also said that Catherine gained access to and changed the passwords of 1212 Gateway's primary email account, website, GoDaddy account, Shopify account, Instagram profile, and other social media accounts. So far, she hasn't spoken about the lawsuit. Moving on, as we mentioned before, Austin got sued because the company he got involved with to hold the YouTubers versus TikTokers fight event allegedly didn't pay the fighters. Big yikes. Yet another scam the Ace family got themselves into. Speaking of boxing fights and Austin, he was really cocky leading up to his fight with Bryce Hall. It was so cringe and awkward to watch him diss Bryce and all that. Although he won, we got the "I never claimed to be a fighter" meme from Bryce, as well as Tana Mojo's "On God" quote. So I guess all of these fights benefited the meme community somehow. At number 7 would be the comeback of our one and only Shane Dawson, ex-unproblematic grandpa of YouTube. If you guys have followed any of last year's tea and drama, you would know that Shane Dawson's involvement in Dramageddon 3/Bi-Sister scandal was a big shock. On top of that, as soon as people realized Shane was not as unproblematic and drama-free, they started digging up his old and recent controversies. Shane started getting heat about the situation and he tried to address it in the infamous Welcome to the Circus Twitter post. His racist past and horrible jokes/behavior got brought up to the surface and he kind of acknowledged that, but again, not really. He was in a lot of hot water, people were angry and shocked, he even got his channels demonetized. He started privating videos and tried to save himself. Unfortunately for him, people were not buying it. Fast forward to the end of 2020, Shane did come out of the shadows every now and then. He would post stories on Instagram, he was on a podcast of Ryland's where they talked about the loss of their cat. And moving on to 2021, Shane would keep on appearing here and there in Ryland's vlogs. He would also be more and more active on Instagram, sharing his new merch. Before his friendship with Trisha Paytas ended, she spilled some tea that he planned to come back in the beginning of 2021. However, then things with Shane and Trisha went south due to some previous drama and the relationship ended. People were still hesitant whether or not they wanted Shane to come back. His core audience seemed to want him back really bad. Because of Trisha's influence at the time and popularity because of Frenemies, she sort of held some of the opinions on Shane. People were sliding with her and the way Shane acted towards her. She was the supposed victim in that situation, although we now know that the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. People were really curious to see if Shane would ever come back, and he did. Again, he was showing up in Ryland's vlogs, then in another episode of The Sip, and then he posted a 3-part series of The Haunting of Shane Dawson. He sort of addressed his comeback and things that he reflected on in the past in the first part of the series, and the rest of the videos were about conspiracy theories and pretty similar to his old content. A lot of his supporters were really excited to see him back on the internet, and if you look at his comments, they're pretty positive. narrative, but when you look at summaries and videos on Shane, the perception is quite different. At number 6, we have the Free Britney movement. Unless you've been living under a rock, Britney Spears is finally free from her conservatorship. For the past 13 years, Britney Spears has been under her father Jamie Spears' conservatorship since her dramatic breakdown, which culminated in hospitalization and rehab. People have been extremely vocal and supportive this year, trying to help Britney Spears get rid of her conservatorship. This has been going around for a long time, but previously it was just a theory, and now it's been proven to be an actual issue. The movement became popular in 2019 after the emergence of allegations involving Spears' time in a psychiatric facility earlier this year. The conservatorship was terminated on November 12, 2021. A lot of celebrities showed support to Britney, including Miley Cyrus, Mariah Carey, Paris Hilton, and many others. Several documentaries have come out, one of which really helped to spread the word, called Framing Britney Spears. It came out in the beginning of 2021, streamed on FX and Hulu. Later on, Netflix also came out with a documentary of the outcome of the movement and the battle to end the conservatorship. And number 5 is about David Dobrik and all the things that he got himself into this year. This year, a lot of his ex-friends and people around him came out to expose him, some of which had spoken previously, but then a lot of light was shed on David and the Vlog Squad on Frenemies. The first thing is all about the puzzle scam. Basically, David came out with this puzzle that had a prize of $100,000. It was this giant QR code puzzle worth $30, and if you scanned it, it takes you to a link and you put a special code and you can see what you won. The money prize was ranging from anywhere between 25 cents to $100,000. People thought that this puzzle was basically like a lottery ticket or gambling and that it's really sketchy. The winner that was picked was also suspicious. People thought it was all a PR move because it was a teacher who wanted to help her class. One of the major things that David got exposed for was the SAs that happened in the vlogs. The first one was about another ex-member of the Vlog Squad, Seth Francois. In a prank vlog, David got Seth blindfolded and to believe that he was going to be kissing Corinna Kopf. Instead, he kissed Jason Nash, who was in a gorilla costume. In a video from 2017, he was kissed by Jason Nash while seemingly under the impression that it would be a woman. Seth said he never consented to this prank and that has traumatized him ever since. Another SA that occurred was also revolving around a vlog on David's channel and included another member of the Vlog Squad, Dirty Dom, and a fan who got invited to a Vlog Squad party. The victim said that in a 2018 vlog, she was too intoxicated to consent to have sex with Dirty Dom during the night that they were filming the vlog. The woman said that she was SA'd and that she believes in the video's portrayal of the sex as consensual is inaccurate. There were accusations that other members of the Vlog Squad bought alcohol for the girls who were under the legal age of drinking in the US, which is 21. There were also images from security cameras showing the alleged victim was clearly too intoxicated. David addressed the situation, although the public didn't seem to accept his apology because it didn't really seem genuine. The apology was also addressed to other accusations and things that had come up around the time. He then followed up with another one which seemed a little bit better, but people were not really buying it. Jeff revealed he injured his eye while swinging from an excavator that David was controlling. That one is quite graphic and we're going to brush over it. We have videos on all these topics so you guys can check them out. And the last one is that a lot of people were actually excited that David wasn't able to return to the US, although he got his issues resolved and he came back. And number 4 goes to James Charles and his Snapchat that should get deleted. 2 years ago, right before the Bi Sister scandal, James was accused of inappropriately using his dating apps, appearing as a woman on Bumble, and so on. After Tati's video where she said that he was allegedly a predator towards straight guys, a situation involving a straight boy occurred. James allegedly manipulated him using his fame to trick him into thinking that he's gay. However, as of this year, a few individuals have come out to say that James has also messaged them inappropriately when they were underage. Seriously, James, just stop using your social media platforms like dating apps. He's claimed that they lied about their age, saying they are 18. James also says that as soon as he learned that they're not of age, he immediately stopped communicating with them. Although a lot of them came with proof, so I don't know how alleged all of this is. There have been multiple individuals coming out with stories, some of which have said that they are taking legal action, reporting to the police. And while all of this has been happening, James ignored it for a bit, and then he sort of addressed one of the accusations on Twitter. Then more and more stories came out, an insider article on James was posted, other creators expressed their opinions opinions on James. Some of the boys that have come out are in the ages of 16 to 18. James issued a notepad apology. A lot of people were pissed that he left this just as a Twitter apology, then others were actually defending him. It was just all over the place. And to top that off, James hasn't really been affected by all of this. Obviously now drama channels have spoken about this, other big creators as well, but James has been doing relatively good on all of his other platforms. He then posted a video apologizing and taking accountability. Somewhere around that time, Morphe also dropped him, which is a big deal since they've been one of the biggest collaborations. Their collection was a major success. I even f***ing have his palette. I hate myself. And to see them drop him must have been a wake-up call to him or to his fans. But before we get into the top 3 of the YouTube Rewind tea, here are a few honorable mentions. First, we have the Astroworld tragedy. This is absolutely no tea or drama, in no way, shape, or form trying to make light or fun of the victims and their families, but it was a really controversial topic towards the end of the year, so I think it should be mentioned. To get you the gist of it, if you're somehow unaware of this tragedy, the Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival was a poorly organized mess. Many young people, as young as 9 years old, lost their lives at the event due to lack of security measures. Many lawsuits were filed against Travis Scott and his management. Many people were upset over the lack of acknowledgement and negligence on behalf of the organizers. The outcomes of this event were truly devastating, and more has come out of the situation. Next, something a little less severe than the last one, we have the Surviving Sophia situation, where a bunch of influencers got scammed by a woman named Sophia. A Twitter Space video came out where dozens of influencers shared that this person has scammed about $11 million. Apparently, this person conned by introducing themselves as a publicist, manager, and all these other different things of different celebrities and influencers. Sophia would infiltrate different social circles of said influencers, and once she did that, she would borrow large amounts of money from everyone and then just ghost them. One of these influencers was actually Nikita Dragon, or Jeff Wittick, a member of the Vlog Squad. Okay, so now we've arrived at the top 3 dramas of 2021, which are somewhat correlated to each other. Number 3 would be Gabbie Hanna and everything that's been happening with her this past year. To be honest, if it wasn't for Gabbie or Trisha videos, you guys probably wouldn't be watching right now, so a round of applause for these two. But anyway, Gabbie got into a lot of drama this year, from being unable to take the poetry criticism to getting mad at people liking tweets about her, coming after tea channels because we're the toxic ones, and coming out with a docu-series, in quotations, exposing everyone who has ever wronged her. And oh my, definitely providing us content. Just to mention a few other people who she exposed, we have Jessie Smiles, Trisha Paytas, Angelika Oles, Rachel Oates, Oscar Wilde, not the author, Daniel Preda, and Joey Graceffa. And those are just a few. On top of that, Gabbie also went after some of her followers that are literal minors, threatening them with lawsuits if they don't stop talking about her. Gabbie's series had about 7 or 8 parts, which have now been entirely deleted off her channel. She only has her music on there now, so if you're interested in watching them, there are many re-uploads. In that series, Gabbie went over every single scandal or drama that she's ever been in, from the early stealing jokes accusations and rice gum drama. Then she moved to the Bianca situation. I'm not going to post pictures or get into it because you probably know what it is, and no need to bring that back up. Gabbie shared her thoughts on tea channels, saying they should be held accountable. In particular, she was talking to Angelika Oles. Throughout the series, Gabbie was also talking about ADHD, as apparently she recently got diagnosed with it, and a lot of people thought that she was trying to use ADHD as an excuse for her horrible behavior. She was talking about bullying and how it should not be done while bullying other people. Not contradictory at all. Some other topics her series covered with the our apologist allegations in regards to Jessie Smiles, Trisha Paytas being a pathological liar. I think we can all agree with this one regardless of Gabbie, and her awful experience working on Escape the Night. Gabbie was demanding apologies from absolutely everybody, but for some reason she didn't think that she had to apologize to some people. And a few other things that happened to Gabbie this year were going to Keemstar's podcast shortly after Trisha Paytas. Yep, in the same day. Going to a few other podcasts and shows including Red Table Talk, The Estefans. Throughout this year, Gabbie did lose a big chunk of her following, and she seems to want to cater only to the ones who truly support her. She deleted all of her videos besides the music ones, and she just apparently wants to focus on her music. At number 2, we have the Frenemies breakup. That one was devastating, although a lot of us saw that coming. I feel like Frenemies was a guilty pleasure to all of us watching it for the strange dynamic between our beloved Trisha and Ethan. But at the end, maybe it was the best for them to break up, as it seems like together they're quite toxic. There is too much to cover on this one, as you probably are aware, but let's go over the main points, shall we? There was tension between Ethan and Trisha previously, and we know that because of past fights. Remember that time where Ethan told Trisha not to talk about Hila, and Trisha went all off on Ethan and Hila, calling her a cunt? Yeah, good times. So the infamous pizza was present, and you know what that means, the pizza curse. Jokes aside, the last episode of Frenemies was actually posted a day earlier for members only. Fans were upset over Trisha and were like, why were you so rude? Before the episode went live for everybody, Trisha posted on her channel talking about leaving H3. Then the episode went live and all hell broke loose. The whole argument between them was that Trisha thought a Q&A segment was too boring, although she herself has done those before. Ethan was like, why are you complaining? You don't do anything, then just show up for this, or something along those lines. Trisha got upset, she got triggered, then Ethan decided to put his foot down. Trisha started blowing this way out of proportion and talked about how Ethan gets 5% more than her. And if it's going to go to the production of the podcast, she wants to have a say as well. It became a big deal. Trisha's argument was that she's not taken seriously and she should have more creative control. Ethan, on the other hand, was like, this is my company, I decide what to do with it, I can't rely on you blowing off randomly. This whole conversation should have been discussed in private, but regardless. After that, there were videos on both sides explaining the situation. Ethan's video showed that Trisha lied about some stuff. Trisha, on the other hand, made a bunch of videos clearly distressed, and the fight became a family thing. Trisha's sister talked about them paying for Ethan and Hila at Disney World, giving us the 5% meme. Ethan said he offered to pay.
He takes that 5%, and VIP tickets to Disneyland is not cheap.
And then there's the issue between Moses and Hila. Obviously, there was some tension there. One of the Frenemies fights was because of them, and out of all of this, the only good thing that came out was the Families podcast, and Ethan's mom Donna, and the time of the Dawn arcs. Ethan and Trisha actually had talked things out in an unaired episode of Frenemies. However, Ethan didn't want to continue with the show, so he said that the last episode would be their closure without having to explain it to the audience. Trisha seemed to want to air the episode, but she got upset that it didn't and the show would not continue. Trisha made the final move when she went to the Mom's Basement podcast by Keemstar, Ethan's #1 fan. Enemy. She made it seem like she just was there to squash her beef with Keem, but we all knew she probably made that move in order to upset Ethan. He took it very personally, and from that point of, their friendship was completely over. All in all, the Frenemies breakup was really messy, sad, and heartbreaking to watch because people actually believed in Trisha and that she had grown. Obviously, Ethan also had some stuff to be blamed in all of this, but Trisha took a big L after the breakup. There are probably a lot of things to be added to this overview of the situation, but go and watch my videos on this to get full details. And now, finally, the biggest drama that happened this year was, drumroll please, about the one and only Trisha Paytas. The majority of her drama correlates to the Frenemies section, however, Trisha went through her own drama as well. Some of it included her suspicious skincare and band merch, her past relationships, and abusive behavior, as well as a lot more of her past, including racism, trolling, and much more. Her skincare collaboration got exposed by a customer who received a poorly packaged product, resulting in bad customer service. After a few months, Trisha's collab was nowhere to be seen, and apparently the people that she partnered with were not licensed estheticians or dermatologists. Her other venture, band merch, also has been not the best. Trisha claims to sell out almost all of the collections that she puts out, although she is still promoting limited quantities that were not sold out. Trisha also became the Thanos of religions and spirituality, taking the quote, "gotta catch them all" way too seriously. She started off her journey by converting from Christianity to Judaism, and I'm using the word converting way too loosely. And then at one point she decided to be all spiritual and talk about crystals, then became her new form of Hare Krishna, making fun of yet another religion. Then she became interested in Islam for a second, although she did not know the name of the Muslim religion. And as of recently, she is interested in being part of a pagan religion, Wicca. Obviously, people were not excited to see her try out religions and make fun of their tradition. There is nothing wrong with becoming more spiritual or religious or even expanding your research, but Trisha's take was way out of line. And a lot of Trisha's past got exposed. Her past relationships, mainly her most public relationships with Sean Vanderwilt, Jason Nash, and husband Moses Hackman. We know that she has been physically, mentally, and emotionally abused to her partners. You can watch Mysterious's video on it. Speaking of Trisha's relationship, a big fuss was her wedding. People were expecting major drama because Moses is Ila's brother and the family relationship was not at its best after the Frenemies breakup. People were thinking the wedding would be fake. No way this is actually real. Then Ethan spoke on some stuff after the wedding. Trisha had a breakdown, asking Ethan and Ila to stop talking about her, even though she herself has not done that when it comes to others, asking her to stop mentioning and talking about them. Something to point out, Frenemies was Trisha's redemption arc, but since falling out, people have noticed that she hasn't changed one bit, and from someone who was untouchable, she actually got somewhat cancelled. And that's pretty much it, you guys. 2021 drama summed up. If I've missed anything, let me know in the comments down below. Do you think there were better scandals to cover? Let me know your thoughts on all of this. I hope you liked this concept. I know this video was a long one, but I've seen a few people do a similar thing and thought, what the heck, let's do it as well. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every single day. All right, bye-bye.